the proposed border wall will start at the Santa Ana Wildlife Refuge. That's the newest word from the Valley's Border Patrol chief.
Channel 5's Kristen Von Pricing is live at the refuge with information on how it was announced and what happens now. Kristen?
We've been waiting to hear about where this proposed border wall would start for some time now, and mind you, it's just a proposal, it's not a done deal, but we now know that this federally protected property is part of those plans, and we learned about it just this afternoon as Border Patrol agents in the Valley welcomed their new boss. Staged this afternoon at the edge of the Hidalgo border wall, federal fish and wildlife property to their backs. Rio Grande Valley Border Patrol staff welcomed their new boss.
The Secretary of Homeland Security, Kirsten Nielsen.
The new head of DHS was here to tour the valley, see agents and security in the area, and
we actually went and saw where the planned, not funded yet, the planned fence wall structure is going to start, which is right there on Santa Ana Refuge.
The Santa Ana Wildlife Refuge, a federally protected environmental area with 2,000 plus acres by the Rio Grande River and a place for local and migratory birds and wildlife.
Got to see the birds, the ducks, some javelina.
John Setien just finished a 2-mile hike this Wednesday evening. He doesn't understand why a wall would go here if there are other parts of the valley where a wall doesn't stand.
There's really other places where they can cross too.
RGV Border Patrol Chief Manuel Padilla says there's work to be done in the valley.
We actually account for about 46% of the entire southwest border apprehensions, and this fiscal year actually leading in marijuana seizures.
He says the wall will start at the Santa Ana if funding is approved by Congress. The White House seeks a total of 60 miles of border fence in Hidalgo and Starr counties.
Those are in the planning phase, not funded yet. If that funding comes to fruition, our starting point will likely be right there in Santa Ana Refuge.
Have you consulted with the agency that oversees
Oh, absolutely,
that property?
Absolutely.
And the agency that oversees the Santa Ana Wildlife Refuge is the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. We reached out to them because we wanted to hear a response or if they had any thoughts on the announcement, and they sent us a response, and I'll read it to you now. The Department of the U.S. Interior is one of several federal agencies that U.S. Customs and Border Protection has engaged with to implement the President's Executive Order 13767, Border Security and Immigration Enforcement Improvements. CBP has included the Department of Interior in initial discussions regarding the implementation of the executive order in South Texas. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service will continue to work with CBP on any proposed activities through formal or informal processes to minimize impacts to the region's national wildlife refuges and natural resources. At the Santa Ana Wildlife Refuge, Kristen Von Pricing, Channel 5 News at 6.